Hey everybody, this is Neal Ronaghan from Nintendo World Report TV, and I'm here joined by Zach Miller.
Ugh.
And we're going to talk about Metroid Zero Mission, which after a long, what seemed like years, maybe decades, centuries, Metroid Zero Mission is finally out on the Wii U Virtual Console.
It's the only virtual console game anyone wanted.
Yeah, it came out in Europe and Japan about 6 to 9 months ahead of the North American release, but now it is 2016. The 30th anniversary of Metroid, and now we can play this game on our Wii U's.
Yes.
So Zach, I think we're both in agreement of loving the hell out of this game.
Oh, yes.
But where does this kind of stand for you in the lineage of Metroid games and Metroid-style games?
I think it is probably the most refined of the 2D Metroid games. It's definitely the fastest, and I think it has some of the best hidden items. So I kind of go back and forth with myself about whether it's better or not as good as Super Metroid, but Super Metroid's definitely kind of it's a slower game.
Oh, definitely.
But it's bigger.
Yeah. So, Metroid Zero Mission is like super focused. Like you can even lazily playing the game, it's finished in under 5 hours.
Easily.
I've been slow boating it, and I beat Ridley at like the 2-hour mark.
Yeah, I've played it enough that I can beat it in 2 hours, not have all the items in 2 hours.
Yeah.
But it's the kind of game where if you sit me down in front of it, I'll probably just beat it. I'll sit there enough time that I'll just beat it, and it's surprisingly easy to do that because the game's so engrossing.
Yeah,
you're always making progress.
I mean, it's interesting because if you do look back at Super Metroid, like I'm trying to think exactly like how long a playthrough of that goes, whether you're for the first time or multiple times. But it is a much bigger game. It's a much longer game, and I mean, I guess maybe it's kind of in like that growing world of people wanting more refined experiences than like the 100-hour game that you can get lost in.
Right.
That Zero Mission, I think, is perfectly emblematic of that. I don't want to say like new style of thinking because that was kind of what game development was back in like the 80s and stuff. But like kind of going from that, we need to have everything campaign minimum 20 hours. And Metroid Zero Mission is just this super polished, highly replayable 3 to 5 hour game.
Yeah. And it's got a hard mode after you beat it.
Yeah. I've never played the hard mode. Would you recommend it?
It really just increases the damage you take, and I don't think each missile gives you as many missiles. It's been a while.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I love Zero Mission. It takes the original game and just makes it so much better.
It's also real pretty.
Yeah, I think that the graphics hold up well, even when blown up on a TV screen. It's a very, very nice looking game. The music is fantastic because it's a lot of those familiar themes, but kind of like, I don't know if it's like totally redone or maybe it's just the Game Boy Advance sound chip making it sound unique and different and more engrossing.
Right. And I really like the environments. They really pop.
Yeah.
And the backgrounds are really good.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that's something that, that's actually, I've been replaying Fusion as well. I don't think that Fusion does the backgrounds as well. Like, it's not that it's an ugly looking game, but especially playing Zero Mission and seeing the varied areas, like that's something that I think Fusion was missing from Super Metroid, was that Super Metroid is another game that nails like that feeling of setting and having all these areas that look so vastly different.
Yeah, I think the problem with Fusion is that every area, despite it being a different environment, is still, steel pylons.
Yeah.
And, electronics. And so it all ends up kind of looking the same.
Yeah, I mean, that's even kind of the thing with Other M as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Other M, of course, hews very closely to Fusion.
I guess the other stuff about Zero Mission is that it introduces the Zero suit for the first time.
Yes, it does. I
Which,
hate that sequence.
yeah, I'm not a big fan of that sequence, but I do like I guess the added mythology because
Sure.
it's done in a way that I don't really think. I mean, it's like I don't even think that the story added into Fusion does anything bad to the series other than slow it down.
Sure.
I mean, the stuff in Other M, that's the worst part of that game. Pretty like I think we can all be well. No, the pixel hunts are the worst part of Other M, but I think that like the story in Other M is pretty atrocious.
Yeah.
Even if it's kind of fun in a B movie way at times.
Yeah.
But I think that Zero Mission does a very good job of kind of communicating stuff without so many words.
Right, like Super Metroid did.
Yeah. And I mean, there's more like cutscenes in this. Like they do have the whole like you beat Kraid, and then like Ridley wakes up in space and is like, I gotta get there. And they have like when you go to certain areas, there will be cutscenes that are kind of similar to that. Isn't it? Super Metroid has it, or am I mixing games up? Super Metroid has the moment where like Mother Brain wakes up, right?
I don't.
Or am I confusing that
does.
with Zero Mission? Okay, I know that there is a moment where you're going through in Super Metroid where like you're noticed, and then like there are enemies.
Yeah, I think that is more of like a beam of light hits
Yeah,
your character,
like a scanner. Yeah, there is no moment of a character waking up.
Right.
Like, I mean, but it is that kind of thing happens in Zero Mission that like you do see it's Mother Brain. Oh, there's Kraid. Oh, now Ridley's coming in.
By the way, the Kraid fight is fucking awesome.
Yeah, I mean it's very similar to Super Metroid. I mean a lot of
yeah.
I mean it is kind of weird because a lot of the Metroid fights, a lot of the Metroid boss fights were not the best.
No.
But then Super Metroid kind of took those and made them awesome, and then Zero Mission takes them and makes them even better. And they're all, I mean, not completely identical, but they're very similar.
They are.
You know, the Mother Brain, the Ridley, and the Kraid fights, but I think they're just so much fun.
All the extra little mini bosses are nice touches, though, like the giant worm you fight to get the charge beam.
Yeah.
And the big fly that you fight to get the super missiles if you haven't gotten them by sequence breaking already.
Yeah, you were telling me about that. I haven't really delved into sequence breaking in this game, so I was a little. I mean, it's never been something that's appealed to me that much, but I do like the idea of it.
Oh yeah.
And this is a game. I don't know if it was necessarily consciously designed for it, but it seemed like they left that in there. They didn't try to, QA it to high hell to make sure you could only do it one way.
Oh, definitely. Although I I'm probably wrong, but I feel like that's the only major sequence break you can do because it lets you skip a whole boss.
Yeah, the B.
So I don't like the Zero Mission sequence, but mainly because it just goes on and on.
Yeah, I mean, especially, and maybe it's a little bit because you're informed by what's come before. Is that like you're like, all right, got Kraid, got Ridley, we're going to the end game, and then it's like, nope.
Yeah, and not just nope, but you have no powers at all.
Yeah.
But then when you get the powered up suit, which is fantastic, that whole sequence is great, and then you're super powerful. Then you can go back through the rest of the game, of course, and get all your items. But I don't know if you've ever noticed this, but the music never changes again.
Oh, really?
It's constantly Samus's theme, which is on like a 15-second loop. And I just start muting it.
You know what? I think that every time, because this is my first time playing the game on a TV.
Oh, you'll notice it now.
Yeah, but I think when I would get to that point, and I would be like when I would get to that point and be going back to like 100% it would be a lot of I'm watching TV and I don't have the volume on, so I never noticed that. Yeah. Maybe that's almost what they expect, so they're like, we don't need to bother.
Sure. And another nice thing that I think it was introduced in Fusion. Yeah, it was introduced in Fusion in that instead of just at the end of the game, after the credits roll, instead of Samus just her sprite appearing without a helmet or without a suit, you get a whole like nice character portrait, and you get nice character portraits in Fusion, but you also get them in Zero Mission, and they give a little bit of backstory to her, like what she does in her off time. when she's not hunting Metroids.
Yeah.
And in Fusion, there was a feature where you could use a GBA link cable and link the two games together, and you'd unlock um, all the character portraits from Fusion in Zero Mission.
Cool.
Yeah, that was nice. And I don't remember exactly, but I know if you beat once you beat Zero Mission, you unlock the NES Metroid.
Yeah.
So you can compare and contrast. And I feel like that was also unlocked in Fusion when you did the link cable.
Yeah, I think when it was connected to Metroid Prime, then you'd unlock.
There it is.
The original Metroid.
Yeah. So save yourself $5 and.
So I've got some fun facts about apparently there was a Crocomire sprite that had animations that was found in the code of the game. So he's a boss from Super Metroid.
Yeah, he's a great boss.
But that can also have ties to Metroid Zero Mission, because Fusion came out in 2002. Zero Mission wound up coming out in February 2004. So it was about a year and a half after Fusion came out that Zero Mission came out. It
feels like so much shorter.
Yeah, but when they first were going to do Zero Mission, it was originally going to be a Game Boy Advance port of Super Metroid. So there's a chance that Crocomire sprite could have been when it was still going to be a Super Metroid game.
Yeah.
Some of the other stuff, I'm just scanning over some notes. There was also some other things that were found in the game's code that weren't in the version that we all played. You could toggle items on and off, like in Super Metroid.
Oh, okay.
And also the red blast shields would take 5 missiles instead of 1, which that's a hell of a change.
Yeah,
I really like that it's not 5 and it's just 1, because it's like that seems so. It seemed like arbitrary. Like, just do 1.
Yeah. I always remember way back in the day playing the original Metroid, and I knew I had to hit the red doors with a missile, so I would, and it wouldn't open. And I think, well, what do I do now? You have to hit it with 4 more. It's just so arbitrary.
Yeah. So I think that might kind of do it for Metroid Zero Mission. I mean, I think this game is I think it's the best game on Game Boy Advance. Like, I think I'd fight people over that.
Wow.
I mean, what else would top it?
I don't know off the top of my head. I actually do know. Like, well, maybe Superstar Sega, although that's a whole different game.
But that's a debate for a different time. I'm Neal Ronaghan, and that was Zach Miller for Nintendo World Report TV, and I hope you enjoyed this look back at Metroid Zero Mission. You can get it on the Wii U Virtual Console right now if you want to, or I guess you could hunt down a Game Boy Advance copy. If you want to see more stuff like this about Virtual Console games, we could dig into the backlog, deal with what's current or whatever. Leave a comment below or hit us up, I guess, on like Twitter. We're on Twitter at Nintendo_NWR. I'm at Enron10. Zach's at ZMiller1902. Thank you so much for watching, and feel free to subscribe.